Alright guys, say goodbye to the Mommobile. There she goes. Oh, she's so beautiful. I'm gonna film her until I can't see her anymore. Oh my gosh.
Maybe we can find a way to merge them. Maybe I can call you friend and lover.
Hello. You may be wondering what I'm doing in the Mommobile. Maybe I should close the lights. These might add a little bit of ambiance. I don't know. My door is open. I'm in my car, in my garage. The door is open because my baby is sleeping inside and I need to hear if he's going to wake up. But for those of you who know me, you know that I am in the Mommobile. And this is the last video with the Mommobile. So I thought that it would be perfect to film this question video. Basically, I got many questions about how to import a vehicle in the US if you're moving here, or just if you want your vehicle to be plated here, it must be imported. And so in this video, I'm going to explain to you step by step how to import your vehicle as a person if you're Canadian and your vehicle is Canadian. And then we will watch the beautiful Mommobile leave because yes, we in fact have sold her. I think I'm going to keep the story time for the end for those who really want to hear it. I know a lot of people that clicked on this video just want to know how to import it, so I'm gonna give all that information first, and then those of you who want to stick around for the story about the Mommobile, I will be telling that story at the end of this video. So let's get right into it. First and foremost, I have my coconut water and my matcha tea so that I could do this whole video, and this is like my me time. It's very rare that I get time without my toddlers, so bear with me. This car is getting picked up tomorrow morning, first thing. Can you imagine if I like drop something or I dirty it? God. Okay, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do if you want to import your car is make sure that you pay off your loan. And so you have to make sure, my dog's trying to come in the car right now. No, Scarlett, get down, get down. So you have to make sure that there is no loan on the vehicle and that you have your registration, which is the equivalent of a title in the US. In Canada, we have registrations. And so on the registration has to be your name or your company's name. Because in this video, I will be talking as a personal person, entity, or a business. Now, please make sure that if you are using a company that you have proof that you are the owner of the company, because if you don't, then I do not know, I cannot help you, but this is the knowledge that I've gained from doing it myself, from speaking to about 10 different border agents. And please note that you can do this if your car is already in the US. Your car does not need to be imported at the border itself, as long as it is for personal use. And so this was for personal use. So let's get right into it. 1, pay off your loan. Make sure it is your name or your company's name on the title registration. Then you will need a broker. Technically, you don't need a broker, but because it was a company on my registration, I needed a broker. And plus, it's very complicated, so it's easier with a broker. What you need for that is a copy of your passport, so your ID, a copy of your Canadian registration after you've paid off the loan, the front and the back, a copy of a third-party evaluation of the car, so you can use the Kelly Blue Book evaluation for your car using your VIN number. I will put a link down below to help you guys, so that is a must. And then you need a compliance letter. This is pretty much the most important part because it's the most lengthy part. So this car is a GM, and so I was given a list of all the manufacturers, which I will probably include down in the description as well, but it is not super accurate. Kind of a story time. So you have to contact the manufacturer and you have to ask them for a compliance letter with the EPA and the DOT, and they have to write you a compliance letter including the VIN of your vehicle stating that it conforms to the EPA and DOT. Now, my GM, my Yukon, the Mommobile, was built in the US. But apparently, even though they're built in the US, they're built to Canadian standards and you still need this. There's no way around. Trust me, I tried. There's no way around this. Please take note that in the PDF that I will be putting down below, some of the phone numbers are outdated or the company policies have changed. For example, GM has changed their policy and their main manufacturer is in Oshawa, Ontario. And when I called, although they had been doing this for 20 years, they decided to change it to the phone number for the customer service, which is in the back of your manual. I think I took the French one, but you get it. So in the back of your manual, you have a phone number and that is the number to call for GM users. If not, I would just call the number that's on the PDF that I'm gonna link and then go from there. So once you have that compliance letter, you must read it because the letter is not enough. So for example, my letter said that everything was okay except the passenger airbag light, which funny enough, only 1 in 5 is not okay with my VIN number. There's a special light that you need, which I have right here. I will show you. My car's not on because I don't want to intoxicate myself, but basically right here you'll get like a passenger light and it's actually the right one, but they can't know with the VIN, so you have to send in a picture. Let me put you guys back down here. So you must send in a picture to the broker because the broker will know if it's a good light or not. Please note that I went to GM dealership and they had no idea what a compliance letter was. I called the GM customer service and they had no idea as well. And I had a list of all the parts printed and nobody could find what this part was. So I strongly suggest that you get a broker that's used to doing it because I spent 2 hours on the phone with GM customer service and at the dealer, basically to be answered my question in 5 seconds from the broker. I should have just asked him from the get-go. People are not used to dealing with this, so you cannot rely on their expertise. Even whether they're mechanics, I went into the service, the parts department, they all have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Okay, so now that you have the compliance letter, you need the completed customs power of attorney. Now, depending on where you're importing it, they're gonna give you a power of attorney in order for you to import it. And so I signed that, sent it to them. And now they told me it was gonna take a week. It took 3 weeks just to get the final papers from the border. Now, once you get the papers from the border, they send you copies and you print them. You have to go, this is now I'm speaking for Florida because I am in Florida. You have to go to the DMV or tax collector, your local tax collector, to get it imported. What they failed to tell me is that you must first go to the Pinellas County DMV, so the DMV of DMVs, basically like the boss of all tax collectors, to get it inspected. I'm checking to make sure my baby's not weak. So you must get it inspected to make sure that the vehicle is okay. What you must also do is get a VIN verification from a police officer. And so you go into your local police station, and depending on where you are, you ask the clerk how to do it, and they'll come meet you and basically sign an attestation, I guess, that they checked the VIN, that the VIN is yours, that there's nothing stolen, basically that your car is your car. And so once they do that and you've been to the Pinellas County, well, depending on where you are, but there's not that many of them, large DMVs, and they've inspected it, then you could take all those papers with your ID and everything in there, and you could go to your local tax collector and you can import the car. You will need to pay 6% taxes here, just because you're importing the car. So basically, the catch that they get you with here is that you pay taxes on your car in Quebec, Canada, which is 15%. And then when you come here and import it, you must pay another 6%. So you end up paying a lot of taxes. And that's why it is not super worth it to sell your car unless you take into account all these things. We ended up selling this to a person. All right, battery died. So this battery is dead too.
No, God!
Lord help me. I gotta get another battery. What did I drop? I dropped the battery. Oh shit. This is not going as planned. Alright guys, we're gonna have to finish this on my cell phone because it turns out that all 3 of my batteries, well, one broke when I took it out of the charger and the other 2 are dead. And so we are finishing on an iPhone. But basically what I was saying is that we sold it to a person in Indiana. And so we have just shifted a couple papers, power of attorneys and whatnot, papers through FedEx and etc., and the car is now being shipped there. It has been sold, it's official, it's done. Because of what's going on in the world and the high gas prices, and due to all these delays and we were supposed to sell this car basically back in November, and then it kind of like delayed till now. Would we have sold it for higher had we sold it the first time? Yes, but at the same time, it was a personal person, so who knows what could have happened with the check and whatnot. And obviously selling to a dealer, you're sure of who you're dealing with and whatnot, dealing business with a business. So I try to take the silver lining out of everything, but I will get into the little kind of story time about the Mommobile, because a lot of you guys have asked me and saw that the Mommobile was for sale and was sold since November. What happened is our first buyer kept on asking, you know, when is it going to be ready? When is it going to be ready? And then finally he ghosted us. And so we were like, okay, so we put it back for sale, and then we got a lot of bites, but nobody really serious. And people were just like ghosting us, or, you know, they were like, oh, can you finance it and stuff like that. So it was just like very unreliable. We finally, fast forward, while we were getting all these importing papers, the importing papers were submitted January 24th, and it was supposed to take like 2 weeks. So it was supposed to be out by like literally February, maybe 3rd. I don't know. And finally, it just got solved literally a couple days ago. So it took well over 2 months to solve everything that should have taken maximum 2 weeks. It definitely put a lot of strain on like everything because of the lengthy process. But like I was saying, the gas prices went up, and so the demand for big trucks went down naturally. So we definitely got a better price than if we sold it in Quebec, but we didn't get the initial price we were supposed to get due to what's going on in the world and the gas prices skyrocketing. So basically, I don't want to make it too long for the story time, but a lot of people backed out. Finally, it was just really long with the importing, literally took forever. And then finally, we had these FedEx papers that were supposed to be overnighted, and they literally took like 4 days. Evan had to leave. He had to be back in Canada for a certain day. And instead of leaving like the 16th, he left the 17th in the afternoon. So like a day and a half later. So he had to make up that time and actually drive like 21 hours straight, which is terrible. But honestly, shout out to Evan. He's not here right now because he has some work and some business to do back in Canada. And he does all this for our family. And what he does for our family is simply amazing. He is literally the backbone of his family and a major reason why our family is able to live so comfortably, and I am able to live such a great, blessed life at home with the kids. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Oh, there's Evan calling. Hold on, I'm just gonna refuse it. Sorry, babe, I'm refusing your call, but I'm actually saying really nice things about you. So I'm gonna keep it nice, short, and sweet, even though I've been rambling for so long. But that is the story with the car. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me down below. It'll be my pleasure to research and kind of find the answers for you. This is based on my personal experience. I'm not a lawyer or a broker, so don't just take my word for it, do your own research. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you have any videos you would like me to do, please don't hesitate to put them down below. I love knowing what you guys like to see. So thank you guys so much, and with that being said, we love you. All right, so we are the next morning. The baby's sleeping again, and right now the guy is on his way to come get the car. So I'm like gonna say bye to her. This car was my dream car. It was amazing, but you know, when you are able to sell something and make money, you cannot be attached to material things, and we learned that through moving to a different country and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna ramble, but let's say a last goodbye to her. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by.